Hi, my name is Sukhman Dami. I'm the co-founder and co-director of Ensaaf. Ensaaf is a human rights nonprofit working to achieve justice for mass state crimes and end the impunity in Punjab, India. We document abuses, bring perpetrators to justice, and organize survivors. In the early 80s, there was a mass movement for greater state rights for the state of Punjab. Punjab's water resources were being diverted to other states, and Punjab, being a predominantly an agrarian society, was heavily affected when its water resources were being sent to neighboring states. In order to effectively end this mobilization, they had to find a way to convert it from a nonviolent movement into a violent movement, which would then justify their use of force to quell the mobilization. And then the government had the justification that it needed to come in and pacify the countryside. That pacification of Punjab didn't end until 1995. And so during that decade, the government targeted whomever was involved in the militancy in any way. The government literally removed the right to life. It said that it did not exist. The right to liberty did not exist. The right to expression did not exist. And this gave security forces the legal cover that they needed to engage in acts of torture and disappearances and unlawful killing on a very wide scale. I remember one of the very first victim families that I visited. It was actually a widow who lived in a very rural village in the district of Amritsar. She told us how police came in the middle of the night around 2 or 3 a.m. and abducted her husband. And so they said, we're taking him to the local police station and we'll release him after a couple of days of questioning. The newspaper reported that her husband had been killed in a shootout with the police. So she went back to the police station and said, "This is what the paper says. I know that he's alive because you let me meet with him just 2 days ago." Their response was that we don't know who your husband is, we never detained him, and we don't know who you are, and you better get out of here. She went on to say that I need a voice, but I'm very poor. But if you're willing to stand by me, I'm willing to come forward with my case. It was in that moment that, we are in a unique position where we could help give victims like her a voice. Ensaaf's core mission is to investigate and document these disappearances and unlawful killings. There is still a huge need to reach these victims and collect their testimony and any other evidence that existed to establish that their loved ones had been unlawfully killed or disappeared or tortured at the hands of the police and other security forces. The vast majority of the perpetrators have gone scot-free. And through earlier investigations and our own investigations, we have been able to collect the evidence to establish that these crimes were not few and far between, committed by a few rogue officers, but in fact took place in every corner of Punjab. It's critical that Ensaaf be supported in its work because we have a very limited window of time before the evidence that we need to hold these officials accountable is lost forever. Unless we can collect this evidence and establish a definitive record of the abuses, we won't be able to hold these individuals accountable. We know we can do it. We've already had a measure of success. We just need some additional support to make sure that we're able to see our mission through.